While most teenagers are worried about homework and bad hair days, Raven can summon demons from another dimension, tear apart entire cities with her mind, and can end the world if someone interrupts her reading time. So yeah, she's pretty powerful. Today we're going through Raven's complete story from Demon Princess to Teen Titan, and we're going to start this whole thing from the very beginning because Raven's origin story is absolutely insane. So what makes Raven half demon? Well, her dad is a Trigon, a literal demon who rules an entire world of fire and darkness, and her mom just a regular human. So yeah, Raven got stuck with the worst possible combo, demon powers and human feelings. Now when we first see Raven in flashback, she's tearing apart Jump City with dark magic because she's sick of doing evil stuff for her dad. Robin sees her destroying everything and thinks, hey, maybe I can convince this terrifying demon girl to join our superhero team. Smart move, Robin. But here's the thing, every time Robin tries to talk to her, Raven just throws a random object at his head. So Robin gets mad and yells at her to stop, then immediately feels bad and asks nicely instead. And somehow this actually works.
Say, you should be using those spooky moves for good instead of evil.
A superhero, huh? My dad wouldn't like that.
Stop that! I mean, see you at tryouts.
Fast forward to tryouts, and Raven's not exactly team player of the year. When Robin asks her to attack a practice dummy, she looks at the dummy, looks at Robin, and decides Robin would make a better target. So she summons a giant demonic fist and absolutely destroys him.
How was that? Haha.
Yeah, she definitely failed that test. But things gets worse when Robin better heroes like Kid Flash kicked him out of the team for losing his temper too much. So now Raven's homeless again, literally. Her demon dad kicked her out for not being evil enough, and she ends up living in the streets with Robin, Beast Boy, Starfire, and Cyborg. Here's where it gets interesting though. When the team of rejects decide to take back Titan's tower, Raven's the only one who opens portals to sneak them inside. She's also the one who helps give Robin his new look, using her magic to ditch his ridiculous old costume. And when Robin feels like a failure, Raven actually encourages him, telling him that at least when he gets angry, he's not a pushover.
You don't have to rub it in.
Only a wimp would let someone kick them out of their own home.
That's enough, guys.
And don't forget, he lets that fool flush them wet wipes down his pipes.
Those are my wet wipes! And there is no such thing as a flushable wipe!
So yeah, Raven went from destroying cities for her evil dad to helping a bunch of misfits become the real Teen Titans. And she found her place with people who were just as weird and rejected as she was. But just when you think everything's going great, guess who decides to crash the party? So remember how I said Raven's dad is the worst? Well, in Dog Hand, he proves it by showing up at Titan's tower uninvited. But here's the weird part, instead of immediately trying to destroy everything like a normal evil demon dad, Trigon decides to be sneaky about it. This guy literally shrinks himself down and pretends to be a cool, supportive father. He starts handing out gifts to all the Titans like some twisted Santa Claus. Robin gets super strength, Starfire starts talking like a weird teenager, Beast Boy even turns into goofy things like a beanbag, and Cyborg gets a dog for a hand.
Seriously, you have no idea what a wiener my dad can be.
Dude, you got it twisted. Your old man straight up the bomb.
Why are you talking like that? How are you talking like that?
Your dad gave her the power to speak like an Earth teen.
Ah!
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. But Raven knows what's up. While everyone else is having fun with their new powers, she's standing there looking like she wants to disappear into the floor. Then Trigon tells her to use her dark magic to prove she's on his side, basically asking her to betray her friends right in front of them.
I'm so proud. The only thing left to do is kill all your friends.
Kill us! Kill us! You can, like, totally do it.
Yeah, wait, what?
I'd like to first make an example out of one. I suggest Beast Boy. To force the others to swear their allegiance, then eradicate them anyway.
Here's where Raven shows how awesome she really is. Instead of doing what Daddy's Darius wants, she used the exact same powers he gave the other Titans against him. She traps Trigon in his own portal and sends him back to his fire dimension where he belongs. So yeah, Raven literally chooses her friends over her own father, which is pretty incredible when your dad can destroy entire worlds. But unfortunately for Raven, standing up to Trigon wasn't just the beginning of her problems. Now you might think having demon powers would be pretty cool, but But for Raven, it's basically like having a nuclear bomb for a sneeze. Even the tiniest thing can make her magic go completely crazy. Like in the episode Colors of Raven, Raven touches this magical mirror thing and suddenly splits into 5 different versions of herself, each one representing a single emotion. And let me tell you, this is absolute chaos. Pink Raven is bouncing off the walls like she drank 50 energy drinks, being way too happy about everything. Red Raven is basically the Hulk, but angrier, smashing everything in sight. Gray Raven is hiding in corners because she's literally made of pure fear. Orange Raven is so lazy she won't even move. She just lies on the floor like a sleepy cat. And Purple Raven, she really seems to like Beast Boy, if you know what I mean.
Oh no! We just split Raven into 4 versions of herself!
The other Titans think it's funny at first until Red Raven nearly blows up the building and Pink Raven floods everything with sparkles and chaos. Suddenly, having multiple Ravens doesn't seem so awesome. Things get even worse when they try to take all 5 Ravens into battle against a monster. Instead of working together, each Raven just does her own thing. Orange Raven falls asleep in the middle of the fight. Red Raven starts punching Cyborg instead of the monster. Pink Raven plays with Starfire. Purple Raven won't stop kissing Beast Boy. And Grey Raven just throws up everywhere. So now all the Titans have to go on a citywide hunt to collect all of Raven's emotions like their Pokemon cards. They find Purple Raven running a kissing booth, Grey Raven hiding behind buildings, and Red Raven basically terrorizing everyone. Meanwhile, Orange Raven never left the tower. She just stayed on the couch eating all their food. Eventually, they managed to trap each emotion into magical crystals and put Raven back together. And you know what? She actually thanks them for it because apparently being a complete person is better than being 5 walking emotional disasters. But this whole experience taught everyone something important. Raven's not just some emotionless goth girl. She's actually feeling everything all at once all the time. She just keeps it all locked up so she doesn't actually destroy the world. And speaking of keeping things locked up, Raven's about to face her biggest test yet. In real magic, Robin decides he wants to be a magician. Not like Raven's actual magic, we're talking about the cheesy stage magic with rabbits and top hats. Robin's out here doing card tricks and pulling bunnies out of nowhere like he's at some kid's birthday party. But here's the problem. Raven keeps warning him that real magic isn't a joke. Does Robin listen? Of course not. He's too busy showing off his amazing magic skills to pay attention to the girl who can literally summon demons.
You can't play around with this stuff. Magic is not a game.
Magic!
Keep it up, and you'll be summoned by the magic god. And believe me, you don't want to deal with him.
Robin's fake magic somehow attracts her real magic god. But here's where things gets weird. Raven tries to impress the magic god by teleporting monsters and blowing stuff up with her powers, but the magic god isn't impressed at all. But it turns out he's not mad at Robin for doing bad magic. He's mad at Raven for being so negative about it.
Fool. You have upset the magic god by poo-pooing all of his fine magic tricks.
Me?
Yes! The magic god hates hecklers.
I know, total downer.
So Robin tells Raven to do the simple thumb trick, you know, the one where you pretend to pull your thumb apart. And guess what? The magic god loves it. He's completely satisfied and sends them both home safe. This whole mess teaches Raven that sometimes being too serious about everything can cause just as many problems as being too silly. Now, here's something you probably don't know about Raven. Her room isn't just some goth teenager's bedroom. It's literally a magical dimension filled with floating symbols, spell books, and weird mystical stuff everywhere. But what's the craziest part, when nobody's watching, Raven actually dances. Yeah, you heard that right. The same girl who acts like emotions are a disease secretly has some smooth dance moves when she thinks no one's looking. And if that's not surprising enough, she also plays with dolls. Her favorite, she has this stuffed unicorn that she treats like her best friend and plays pretend with. But here's where it gets really wild. Raven destroyed an entire universe when she was only 3 years old. Like most toddlers break toys and draw on walls, Raven accidentally ended reality. That's some serious power right there. Also, despite being super smart, Raven apparently needs glasses or contacts to see properly. So this all-powerful demon sorceress is basically just a nerdy kid with vision problems who happens to just have world-ending magic. Oh, and her real name is actually just Raven. While all the other Titans use aliases or nicknames, she's the only one using her actual name. Rachel Roth is just a fake name she uses sometimes on Earth. The weirdest part though, Raven's cloak is supposed to make whoever wears it dark and emotionless, but somehow Starfire and Beast Boy wore it and stayed completely normal. So either Raven's friends are just that happy, or the cloak just gave up trying to make them God. Now let's talk about how Raven gets along with the rest of her teammates, because trust me, it's complicated. And speaking of complicated, let's talk about her and Beast Boy. They officially start dating in break, but their relationship is basically one long cycle of getting together, breaking up, and getting back together again. With Robin, Raven thinks he's an annoying control freak who takes himself way too seriously. And honestly, she's not wrong. She literally says he's her least favorite teammate, but when push comes to shove, she still saves his life because that's what teammates do. Starfire is basically Raven's polar opposite. She's cheerful, huggy, and way too interested in Earth culture. But somehow they're best friends, probably because Starfire is the only Titan who doesn't actively annoy Raven on purpose. And Cyborg, he's like that annoying big brother who keeps trying to get you to eat meatballs and join his stupid games. Raven spends most of her time either ignoring him or using her powers to shut him up, but deep down, she actually cares about the guy. Basically, the Teen Titans are like a really dysfunctional family, and Raven is the god teenager who pretends she doesn't care but would probably destroy anyone who tries to hurt them. Overall, Raven's story shows us way more than just a half demon with anger issues. She's proof that you don't have to let your family problems define who you become. Yeah, her dad is literally the worst villain in any dimension, and yeah, she could accidentally destroy the world if she has a bad day, but she chooses to use her powers to protect people instead of hurting them. But because you watched all the way to the end, on your way out, check out our entire story of Starfire, because trust me, her origin story is just as crazy.